What's up, y'all? What's going on? Sergio Crew, welcome back to another episode of Deeper Than Journalism. First, I want to say, thank you to everyone, that's joining me live tonight. So, first, I want to say, Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope everybody had, a good holiday over the last couple of days. We got New Year's coming up. So, listen, since New Year's is coming up, we want to make sure that, I want to hear your New Year's resolutions, okay? I want to hear your New Year's resolutions, and what we want to do is we want to put some of those resolutions into our next show. Now, I'll be honest with y'all. I'm the type of guy where I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions, but I definitely want to hear about yours. And, we want to feature you in our next broadcast next Tuesday. Now, so tonight on the show, we're going to be diving into a couple missing people. We got about 4 people who are currently missing right here in Philadelphia. And, we just want to make sure we dive into them and then a little later on. I'm going to run a story that I did a few months ago about a guy who's been missing for the last 13 years, and his mom is not giving up on finding her son. Too many people are being reported missing in my city, Philadelphia, and no one is doing anything about it. So I am. All right, so our first missing person is 17-year-old Louis Stanton. He was last seen on Monday, December the 28th, on the 1500 block of Fairmount Avenue. That's Spring Garden. He was seen near the Youth Emergency Services. Our next missing person is 25-year-old Nicole Ferretti. She was last seen on Friday, December the 25th, which was Christmas. Now, according to police, she do frequently visit the South Philly area and also Kensington. So, you guys already know when it comes to Kensington, it's a lot that go on down there. So, yeah, we definitely want to make sure this girl get back home to her family. The next missing person is 17-year-old Tyshawn Fraser. So maybe you recognize him. He was last seen on Saturday, December the 26th. At 12 p.m. on the 5900 block of Trinity Street, that is in Southwest Philly. Now, our last missing person is this 15-year-old girl. Her name is Ajane Chase. She was last seen on Monday, December the 28th. That was yesterday at 12:30 a.m. on the 9000 block of Convent Avenue. That's in the Northeast. She was last seen wearing a Philadelphia hoodie. Okay, so if you've seen her, please reach out to our local police department. Now, listen, this is the reality, right? The reality is that when you have people that go missing, we do not know why they went missing, and we do not know how they went missing. So it's extremely important to make sure we share this story tonight, this show tonight, because this could be potentially somebody that this could be one of your family members. If this was one of your family members, you would definitely want to help. So the next story I'm about to go into is a story that I did a few months ago. This is about a guy named Tyrese Beatty who went missing from West Philly. He's been missing for the last 14 years, and his mom is not giving up on looking. His mom is not giving up on looking for her son. His son Tyrese been missing since 2006, December 13th, 2006.
Yes.
What happened 13 years ago?
Tyrese, he kept saying that it was this particular person bothering him. We didn't pay it any mind because I didn't even think this person was like this. And, as time went on, I thought he was on something. So I had 302'd him. Took him to Friends Hospital. They checked him out. They said, well, he don't have any drugs in him. So, maybe he's saying something. Then one day, my daughter called me from work and told me Tyrese was walking with his pants down. So I said, well, that's how the boys walk anyway. So she was like, well, Mama, he walking down with them down to his ankles. So I get off work. I come home. I'm like, Tyrese, what's going on? And, and he was like, something not right, Mama. He'll never call me Mama. I was like, okay, Tyrese, just go in the house and rest yourself. And he wouldn't come in the house. I get a knock on the door around 2 o'clock in the morning. It's the police. So they said, well, we got your request that you want to report your son missing. It kind of threw me off because I didn't even know he was missing at the time, because normally if he not at my house, he over his sister's house.
So who called the cops?
My daughter called the cops, but they sent them to my house instead of them doing the report. So I did the report. So then time just went on, and we still haven't heard nothing yet. He was supposed to have went into the Navy. He got sworn in I think June and July. He wasn't supposed to leave until September. And one time they had brung him home. They was like, "What's wrong with him?" I said, "Nothing is wrong with him." They told him that they couldn't take him to try back in 6 months.
December 11th, that was the last time y'all seen him. Y'all made the missing person report 2 days later on the 13th. And then what happened after that? So you said that he was staying with his sister from time to time?
But he was living with me, but he would just be over there all the time because of that particular person.
I did read in one of the articles that, you would drive down Kensington and you would see people that look like your son.
Oh, so man, every time I ride past, my heart be like boom, 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 boom. That same flyer in the back of my car, I got on little cards. I still take it down. I got people down there I give money to. I don't care what you do with it. If you see my son, let me know. Hold him. Follow him.
So I want to add a little bit more clarity about this man that Anna keeps referring to. It's actually one of her daughters who I am waiting to speak to right now via Zoom. It's her ex-boyfriend. Allegedly, 13 years ago, Tyrese and the ex-boyfriend, they were friends, but then they started having issues, and Anna believes that this man allegedly has something to do with her son's disappearance.
So he's been missing for 13 years. I mean,
13 years.
What, from your perspective, what happened?
It was either an ambulance, a fire truck, whatever it was. It spooked him and he like ran off. That was the last night that I seen him. And then like later on that night, maybe even the next day, and towards the middle of the night, me and my sister was talking, and I just called the cops. I was like, it's not like him not to come either to my house, my mom's house, or one of my other sister houses, or even our dad's house.
This is what your mother told me. I guess some guy you used to deal with is involved in disappearance. I mean, what do you got to say about that?
Well, she's been saying that, and then I always wonder why she was saying that, and just very recently. So I need you to understand this. So let's say I called and said in 2006. They didn't talk to almost, I want to say like 5-6 years later. I believe the beginning of this year was when another detective called me in and finally told me some statements the guy that I got kids with said. Like, he referred to my brother being dead like 5 or 6 times. Like, he told me one version of the story about my brother in the park, and then like months later, it was like more details added into it. So, but even that, I was just like, no way.
It's like, do you think in your heart he had something to do with it?
I don't know. That's like a hard thing for me to answer if I'm just being honest.
I get it.
But even with us having kids together and they got siblings, I can't imagine that you would take somebody's sibling away from them. And then this lady's only son.
It's been 13 long years and Tyrese Beatty is still missing. His mom, she checked all the morgues, the shelters, and also the hospitals. She didn't find her son. The alleged boyfriend, he was questioned by detectives, and they found no validity to any of his claims. All right, so I just got finished watching the story that I did, a few months ago. As you've seen, that was Tyrese Beatty. He'd been missing for the last 13 years. I came across this story when I was walking down the street, and I saw his mom. She had a photo of Tyrese on the back of a car, and that's how I got involved with the story. Now, I want to add a little bit more context too. When it comes to missing persons, one of the things that I need a lot of people to understand is sometimes there's also more questions than answers, which makes doing missing person stories and cases very, very difficult. The reason being is because the first process is we have to let people know, let people know that the person is actually missing. That's the first thing. And then once we put it out there to the public, the police's job, the detective that's assigned to the case, his job is to actually go out and investigate and try to find the person. And then if there's any new updates, my job is to come back to you and give you updates. So I just wanted to kind of, recap a couple different things. Again, y'all saw a couple people that's been missing. We got 4 people that's missing. That's been missing over the last couple of days. Number one, once again, we got the 17-year-old kid who's been missing since December 28th, Monday, which was yesterday. He went missing on the 1500 block of Fairmount Avenue. That's the Spring Garden section. Allegedly, according to police, he was last seen at the Youth Emergency Services. That's Lewis Stanton. He's 17 years old. The next person is 25-year-old Nicole Ferretti. She was last seen on Christmas. She frequently visits the South Philly area and also Kensington Avenue. The next person that we have missing as well this week is 17-year-old Tashawn Frazier. He was last seen on Saturday, December the 26th at 12 p.m. on the 5900 block of Trinity Street, Southwest Philly. And of course, our last person that went missing, this is 15-year-old Ajane Chase. She was last seen yesterday at around 12:30 a.m. on a 9000 block of Convent Avenue. That's in Northeast Philly. And she was last seen wearing a Philadelphia Eagles hoodie. So listen, if you have any information that can help these people get back home to their family, please do not hesitate to contact your local police department. The reality is that, again, we do not know why they went missing, but we do know that they belong to someone. If it was you or I, family member that went missing, or one of our friends, we will want people to help. So, definitely make sure, if you've seen them, definitely make sure you reach out to your local police department. So as I wrapped up tonight's show, I just wanted to say again, Happy New Year. We definitely want to make sure we take in the new year with a bang. So it's been a lot of confusion. And as I'm here actually live right now, it's been a lot of confusion on, what Deeper Than Journalism is and how often is it going to be on, what's been going on with it. We see it one week, then we don't see it the next week. So I want to kind of add a little bit more context or explain what's been going on. So pretty much over the last couple of months, just really quickly, over the last couple of months with Deeper Than Journalism, we've been talking to different people, just trying to get it out there on the bigger platforms. But it all seemed to kind of come back full circle, where it's like, hey, you know what? We need to continue to be independent. We need to continue to tell these stories, because the reality is that, listen, most of y'all who know who I am, I work for Fox 29. So there's a lot of stories that will not make Fox 29. And that's just the reality of it. Even though I'm there and I'm trying my best and I'm pushing hard to get those stories on the news, the reality is that sometimes certain stories just won't make the news. So my job is to make sure that, whether I'm on Fox or whether we're doing Deeper Than Journalism, we want to make sure that, we still tell these stories. It's a lot of people that go missing in Philly every single day. And the reality is that, no, not everybody go missing. That's not true. To be honest with you, just because you see a missing person flyer on social media doesn't mean that the person is actually missing. But the reality is that we still want to get those stories out there. I still want to make sure that, these family stories are being told. Okay. So again, listen, send me your New Year's Eve resolutions. You will be featured on next week's show. I definitely want to see those, hear those. What is your New Year's resolution? Mine, I don't really believe in them, to be honest with you. I'm just the type of guy that I'm gonna just do what needs to be done. So I would love to know your New Year's resolution. Listen, I'm Sergio Cruz. This is Deeper Than Journalism. Thanks for tuning in. I truly appreciate you. Once again, listen, 2021, you're gonna see Deeper Than Journalism a lot. We got a lot of new stories coming up from mothers who fell victim to murders, to sex trafficking stories, to prison stories, to human interest stories. We got a lot of different content coming, in 2021. I'm super excited. So listen, make sure you tune in every Tuesday night. Next week's show, we're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in it, but if you believe in it, make sure you comment below, because I would love to talk to you and know your New Year's resolution. So once again, I'm Sergio Cruz. Thanks for watching. Peace and love.